Hello everyone, this is Jason White. Welcome to the highlights package for round 8 of our 1965 F1 series, coming to you from Monza in Italy. There you see the old banking, which we of course will not be using in this race. But even without the banking, this is a true temple of speed. 5.750 kilometers around. We'll be going for 76 laps or 437 kilometers, and you'll note the absence of chicanes still. Those didn't come into play until 1972. So before we go to the action, let's take a look at the points tables. Giovanni Centorami leads the drivers' standings with 28 points, and because of the drop score rule, David Wattman is in second with 27, Tim Hill is in third with 26, Juha Boss in fourth with 25, John Team in fifth with 18, and then Nicholas Kirsten in sixth with 14. In the manufacturers' table, Ferrari leads with 38 points, Lotus Climax in second with 27, they both had to drop scores last round, BRM is in third with 26, Brabham Climax in fourth with 21, Cooper Climax in fifth with 18, and then Lotus BRM in sixth with 8 points. And there you have it. Look at the point scheme one more time. 9 points for a win, 6 points for second, 4 for third, 3 for fourth, 2 for fifth, 1 for sixth. You have to complete 75% of the race distance to score your points, and we're only counting the top 6 scores towards the championship. Coming up at ISO, it's the 9th round of this series, and this time we're at the beautiful old Watkins Glen circuit. It's the United States Grand Prix, Sunday, April 26th. Race will start at 2000 CEST. Highlights package to follow. Trivia question for you. Who was the last Italian driver to win the Italian Grand Prix? Was it A, Lorenzo Bandini? Was it B, Ludovico Scarfiotti? Or was it C, Alberto Ascari? We'll have the answer for you later on in this highlights package. Alright, so let's look at the front row, and much to the chagrin of the Tifosi, you won't find red cars here, only green and yellow cars. David Wattman won the pole with a time of 1 minute 37.284 seconds in his Lotus Climax number 5. And alongside him in the front row is his teammate, Ray Radal, in the number 6 Lotus Climax, and his time is just 0.018 seconds behind David Wattman's pole-winning time. Excellent effort by the Lotus team here at Monza. And as we go to the second row, we have one more green car. This one's green and gold, though, in the hands of Grant Radal, his Brabham Climax number 16. Grant is fast in any car, on any track, and I definitely think he's going to figure into this race before the checkered flag falls. Alongside Grant, we have the first Ferrari in the hands of Richard Wilkes, car number 1, the John Surtees entry. I'm sure that Richard is going to be looking to exploit all that horsepower and surge ahead of the green and yellow cars once he gets off the line. Going to the next row, we have the first of the BRMs in the hands of Juha Boss, car number 4, the Jackie Stewart entry. And he has good company in that row because alongside him is the other BRM in the hands of David Saber. There he is, in the Graham Hill entry number 3. The BRMs have proven to be very, very quick on high-speed circuits. Good match for the Ferraris. We'll see if the same thing happens here today at Monza. Going to the next row, we have the first privateer Ferrari, in fact the only privateer Ferrari, in the hands of Tim Hill, car number 24. He won last time out at the German Grand Prix, and he's definitely looking to turn in a great performance here. Alongside him, another factory Ferrari in the hands of Giovanni Centorami, the championship leader. He's won 2 races so far in this series, the South African Grand Prix and the French Grand Prix. Moving on to the 5th row, to close out the top 10, we have Gabriel Del Piccolo in his Brabham Climax entry number 10. Gabriel has qualified very well throughout the series and is definitely a force to be reckoned with when the flag drops. And alongside him, in 10th place, we have, once again, another great performance by Ruben Fernandez in car number 21, the Reg Parnell entry, a Lotus BRM. The BRM engine in these cars is a little anemic on the bottom end, but definitely has top-end speed. We'll see how he fares in the Italian Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the rest of the grid. Adam Hackman starting 11th, Michael Drexler starting in 12th, John Team in 13th, and then Brian Janik starting in 14th place. August Watering in 15th, Robin DeVos in a one-off appearance for Lotus is 16th, Rob DeVries in 17th, and then Jules Bouchard lines up 18th. Mick Chapman makes another appearance for Andre Wicki in 19th. Peter Hlavich starts 20th for Scuderia Centro Sud. Gerard Rion starts 21st, and then Simon Watman for Ferrari in 22nd. There's yours truly in 23rd, and then 24th is Johnny Aces. Those were the cars that qualified. We added some cars to the back of the grid. They weren't there for the actual qualifying session. So, as you look at the grid there, it may look like it's 4 wide, but it's actually 2 by 2 in a staggered formation. So, cars building to a crescendo. Stand by for the start of the Italian Grand Prix. And the race is underway! Look at the start that Richard Wilkes had on the left there. Tim Hilla as well, as David Watman falls way back, pushing and shoving going on. Oh my goodness. That is Mick Chapman into the fence. Both front wheels gone, and he's obviously out of the race. That's really unfortunate for him. And as the field heads into the Curva Grande, it is Richard Wilkes in the lead, Tim Hillett in second. The Ferrari horsepower did its job, and of course, some of that was reaction time as well. But it looks as if Ray Riddall is in third in his Lotus, so David Watman has fallen right down the order. Not a very good start for him as we go through the first Lesmo turn on board with Tim Hiller looking at Richard Wilkes. Now Lesmo number 2, slightly faster. Yes, it is Ray Riddall in third, and then I believe that is Giovanni Centorami in fourth. So an excellent start for the Ferrari teams, both factory and privateer, as they head under the old banking. Here's a good look at the entire field as they stream through. This is going to be another classic slipstreaming battle, much like Silverstone. And much of the passing will be coming at the Parabolica, which they are approaching now at speed to complete lap number 1. Richard Wilkes in front. Tim Hilla in second. Ray Riddall is in third. Centorami is in fourth place. Coming off the Parabolica onto the main straight. Tim Hilla content to stay in second for the moment. And they completed lap number 1. Here come the cars at full bore down the wide front straightaway. Amazing. This is one of the widest front straightaways we had in this series, and still we had cars pushing and shoving at the start. Lap number 2. This is Ruben Fernandez. He just passed Gabriel Del Piccolo for 8th on the right there. His next target is 7th place, Michael Drexler in his Honda. And you can see the effect of the slipstream here as it pulls Ruben toward Drexler at a faster rate than normal. But it's not enough to have the slipstream. You have to have the room to get by. And I think that's what Ruben's dealing with here. He's got the momentum, but he just can't quite find the space. Now he's off to the left side here. Maybe he's thinking about sweeping around as they go into Lesmo 1. That would be a rather unconventional move. But let's see if that's what he plans to do as they head into Lesmo number 1. Yeah, he's already by him into the turn. Fantastic work there by Ruben. He's got 3 wide battle going on behind him, but he's free and clear and up into 7th place. Very good job by Ruben in his Reg Parnell entry. Now this is lap number 3. I mentioned before, David Watman did not have the best of starts, and he is trying to claw back some of what he lost. Right now he's chasing Giovanni Centorami, the series leader. He's also got Grant for very close company there. Look at the head of steam he's got here. He's going to easily go by Centorami. And check this out, Grant Riddall is going to go with him. So not only does Watman go up to 4th place there, Grant tags along and goes to 5th. Now lap number 4, this is David Watman once again, coming after Ray Riddall, his teammate. You can see the 2 Ferraris there, still leading. Heading now towards the Parabolica, and it looks like David's got some good momentum here as they come down the straight. He's probably going to be able to take 3rd place from Ray Riddall. Yep, he's got him on the inside, no problem. But once again, see, there is Grant sneaking through as well. So Grant's doing a good job of tagging along with David as he makes maneuvers here in this race. Pretty cool stuff. Also on the same lap, Juha Boss in 7th as he enters Lesmo 1. The back end gets away from him into a lazy slide. Stops just shy of the barrier, but man, he was really lucky to not get harpooned by one of those cars. Now he's doing the right thing. He's very calmly getting back on the track, waiting for a gap. Doesn't want to involve anybody else, but that takes him from 7th place all the way down to 22nd. So he has got a recovery drive ahead of him if he wants to score any points. Now on lap number 7, this is Ray Radal in 6th as he approaches the Parabolica. And he just gets in a bit too deep and runs into the gravel. That's very, very easy to do. The silver lining is that you have this strip of grass on the very extreme edge of that gravel trap, and if you keep your tires on there, or at least 2 of them, it'll help you get back on the track. If you try to do it through the gravel, you'll just grind to a halt. And that's going to send Ray Radal down to 11th place, but I'll have to keep an eye on him and Yuha to see what kind of recovery drives they can mount. On the same lap, this is David Saber in the 2nd BRM, and he is pursuing Ruben Fernandez, I believe, sweeping to the outside here. David's currently in 9th, and he's going to go up to 8th if he can get by Ruben here. And yes, he slipped by on the outside. And now he's after John Team, I believe. We'll bring him up to 7th place, and ultimately he's going to be up to 6th place, because you see that smoke there, that's the remnants of Ray Radal's excursion into the kitty litter. So David picks up 3 places here in quick succession, one of them as a result of OPP, other people's problems. Lap number 8. This is Centorami. He's currently running in 5th, and that is Grant Radal just ahead. And look at that, Grant Radal gets a little bit loose there on the inside under acceleration, loses momentum, and it's just enough for Centorami to get by and into 4th place. Lap number 11. Now if you look ahead here, you'll see Del Piccolo battling with Fernandez. That's for 7th place. On the inside there, we're riding with Brian Janik. He's following John Team. Threads up the inside here. He's going to try to hook up with Fernandez in the draft. Yes, Janik successfully gets past Team for 9th place. This is lap 14. And you can see Del Piccolo's fallen behind this group once again, but we're following Janik here as he is very, very closely pursuing Ruben Fernandez. This is a battle for 8th place as they come down to the Parabolica. And look to the right-hand side here. You see a little tire poke through there. And finally, you see Del Piccolo. He's overtaken both cars going into the Parabolica. 3 wide maneuver there. But here comes Janik back on the inside. He's going to take Fernandez. And it looks like for the moment he's just going to stay behind Del Piccolo as they cross the line. Lap number 16, we're riding with Ruben Fernandez, and that is Del Piccolo just ahead. Actually, that's Janik. Del Piccolo is on the right. It looks like he's going to use the slipstream here with Janik to get by Del Piccolo. Yeah, he's definitely by him now because he's on the right-hand side, sweeping by. We'll see if he can get by Janik by the time they get to the end of the straight here. And yes, he does. He gets by both Brabhams on his way to 7th place. Very good driving, although he does swing a bit wide there. Let's see if they can counterattack before they get to the line. The drag race down the straight. Nope. Fernandez is just going to stay in front. Although they've hooked up together in a slipstream, so... Nope, Fernandez is going to stay in front. Good job. Now they're heading into Curva Grande. Wow, look at how loose Fernandez gets there going through the corner. He's really letting it hang out. Janik might have designs on 7th place here. It's a break for Lesmo 1. He's right behind Fernandez. Oh, and Fernandez runs a bit wide and might have touched the barrier there a little bit. Hopefully it didn't do any damage, but that lets Janik slip by and up into 7th place. Lap number 18. This is Juha in his recovery drive. He's in 10th right now. Heading toward the bridge. Passes one car on the right there. And 2. Actually, no, not quite 2 yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's Janik on the outside. And the inside there is Del Piccolo. Is he going to make it 3 wide on the straight? Yes, he is! 3 wide! As they head towards the Parabolica. That is brave stuff. Is he going to sweep around the outside? Looks like he's going to. At least that's what he's trying to do. Janik coming by on the inside, or coming back on the inside. See if he's able to get the overlap here. As they charge down the straight. Looks like he might be able to do it. Yes! Yes, he gets ahead of Janik. Excellent driving by Juha. His race is by no means over. Look at everybody jockeying back there as Juha takes the advantage. Lap 19. This is Del Piccolo that we're riding with. That's his teammate just ahead, Janik. It's amazing how close they run in the slipstream here, because if someone lifts off or brakes just a little earlier than you're expecting, and, well, there you go. That's what can happen right there. He actually contacted Janik because he wasn't quite ready for his shutoff point. There's Fernandez nipping at his heels, trying to get an advantage from that. Going under the banking now. And now Del Piccolo's definitely feeling the effects of the slipstream. He's going to head to the left here and try to go around. He's actually trying to pick up some of the slipstream from the car in front there, which I believe is Juha Boss, yeah. And as they come through, yes, it works like a charm. He slips around the outside. Very well done. And now he's really close to Juha. So come onto the main straight here. Lap number 20. Having a look at John Team here. He's following Ruben Fernandez. Ruben may be driving with damage in that car. We don't know for certain, because I know he ran a bit wide and it looked as if he contacted the barrier, but at least for now he seems all right. Team tucked up right underneath him here. Looking for the right moment. This is for 10th place, by the way. Waiting for just the right moment. Oh, he shifts up there. He's got one more gear to go. Don't think he's going to be able to get him here at the Parabolica. There's just not enough momentum. But look at this. Fernandez slips to the outside, and that's going to be just enough, I think, for Team to get by. Yes, Team gets by and into 10th place just based on that slight loss of momentum by Ruben Fernandez there. And there's Rayradal crawling his way back into the top ranking cars. Lap 21. We're on board with Janik, and he is following Del Piccolo. This is for 8th place. Heading into the Parabolica. And, oh, look at that. Same thing happens to, oh my goodness. Whoa. That could have been a lot worse there, but Janik checks up a little bit. Still gets the position, but avoids contact with his teammate. Very good driving there. Didn't panic, just let off the throttle a little bit and gave his teammate a little bit more room. Lap 25, we're with Del Piccolo again, and you guessed it, gonna pass Janik back here in Curva Grande. Lap number 26, and this is Juha Boss in 6th place, or rather 7th. This pass is going to bring him up to 6th place. Unfortunately, it comes at the expense of his teammate. So there goes Juha into the points. His recovery drive continues. Look at this group of cars here on the same lap. Janik and Del Piccolo still going at it, hammer and tongs. Coming down towards the Parabolica. Oh my goodness, look at this. Late braking on the inside there. We'll see who has the upper hand as they come through here. Still a bit of a toss-up. It appears it's going to be Janik, yes. Janik gets the advantage. Lap number 27. This is Fernandez once again. And remember before I said that it looked like his car had contacted the barrier in the Lesmos. But here, definitely, watch this. He comes off the corner. That is a definite hit. And you can see as a result, his car is now crabbing. He's got bent steering. And on a high-speed track like Monza, that is not a condition you want. You can see there, he's really fighting the car coming through the Parabolica. And so he decides quite prudently that he should bring the car in at least to get repaired. Here comes Fernandez into the pits. But unfortunately, he's going to decide to retire. Probably a good idea because it's hard to drive a car that's bent at these speeds. Lap 31. Del Piccolo and Janik once again. Del Piccolo in the slipstream as they come down the main straight. He's going to go to the right-hand side this time. Although Janik has got the help of the cars behind him there. That definitely can help him move faster. But there goes Del Piccolo ahead as they go into Curva Grande. And in the same lap, guess what? Janik coming back on the inside here. Or rather, now he's on the outside. He doesn't have the benefit of cars behind him smoothing out that air, but we'll see what happens. There's David Saber braking for the Parabolica. As they come to the Parabolica. Very late braking maneuver there, but Del Piccolo is able to stay in front. Now coming down the straight, let's see what happens here. Now they're going to stay nose to tail for the moment. There's John Team pulling out, trying to overtake Janik alongside him now. And they've got Raywadall in there for good company. Into Curva Grande once again. These four are going to run down Saber at some point here, but there is... No, not quite. Let's see. Coming into Lesmo 1. Del Piccolo's going to stay in front there. Lesmo 2. Still in front. Actually, they're doing the tactically smart thing here, because if they run in a line like this, they can run down the cars that they're trying to catch. But here comes Janik. He's through waiting, and he slips right by the inside. Very decisive move there from Janik. Lap number 33, Grant Radal. And he's being followed here by, I believe that's Rob de Vries. And this is not a battle for position, I don't believe. But in any case, look, here comes de Vries. He just touches the right rear of Grant, and at these speeds, that's all it takes to send the car into the barrier and into a spin. That's really too bad. Grant out of the race on lap 33 from 5th place. Lap number 34, here we are back with the two Brabhams. Del Piccolo on the inside of Janik once again. And Team and Raywadall hanging on for dear life there, staying in that draft, watching the show in front of them. Lap 35, Janik exiting the Parabolica, and he's going to try to pass back his teammate. Getting a little bit more slipstream there. Looks like he's going to be able to do it now. And there he goes by. As they headed to Curva Grande. Now, this is Del Piccolo on lap number 36. He's got Ray Radal behind him here, but unfortunately, all this battling that's been so much fun to watch. Oh my goodness, almost collects Ray Radal there, but yeah, sayonara, says the climax engine for Del Piccolo. It's too bad after such a great run. But they were battling pretty hard, so I'm sure they were touching the rev limiter at least a few times. Lap 37. This is David Wattman, and this is for second place. We haven't seen much of the front of the field lately because not much has been happening. But here comes David. He catches Tim Hilla and overtakes him for second place. So getting back almost everything that he lost on the start of the race. Lap 41. This is John Team. And now that Del Piccolo's out of the picture, he's picked up the mantle, and he's now looking to advance position here on the inside, and he does. It's for 7th place. As Janik comes back a little bit on the inside, but he's going to wait to try for that position a little later on. Lap 42, this is Janik following Team, and he's sweeping right by again. Janik's getting a lot of TV time in these highlights. Lap number 45, this is Ray Radal following Team. Actually, look, he's got a really good head of steam here. Smoothly shifts to top gear and now goes for the inside. He takes Team, and here's Janik. Can he do both cars at once with the same momentum? Yes, he does! He took 2 of them at once. That's fantastic. Great work by Ray Radal. And puts him up to 7th place. Come down towards the Lesmos. Now lap number 46. And here is Juha Boss, and he is with Centorami now. He's trying on the inside here at Lesmo 1, but doesn't quite get it done. Centorami fights back on the outside. Now they're heading to Lesmo number 2. Nothing doing there, but oh, look at this. He's got a really good head of steam now. He came off that corner really good. And he's going to try to take Centorami on the outside. He does it easy. Very clean pass by Juha Boss there. Brings him up to 4th place. Lap number 53. It's Ray Radal there, and Janik right behind him. This is a battle for 7th place at the moment. Coming down the straightaway here. Oh, no. Don't tell me. Yep. Unfortunately, Ray's car is expired. That is really too bad. And so that means Janik goes up to 7th place and Ray is out of the race. Really unfortunate. Lap 54. This is Little Al in his number 8 rev, and we haven't seen much of him, but he's starting to rise up the order now with the attrition. And that is Robin DeVos in the number 28 Lotus on the outside there that he's passing, or on the inside. And that is a pass for 9th place. That ride for Robin DeVos is a one-off drive in the Lotus. Lap 61. There comes DeVos back on the inside, and he takes Little Al Aquino for, I believe that is 9th place. Yes, 9th place. Getting down the straightaway once again, late in the race. Getting very close to the end now. Here comes little Al on the inside, seeing if he can take the position back. And he does. So this battle's far from over. Lap 64. Here comes DeVos once again. Ooh, very close to the wall there. The Armco barrier. Looking again at little Al. And they've got a back marker up there, one of the Scuderia Centro Sud cars. So it'll be interesting to see how that figures into this situation. Back markers do not want to get involved in the lead lap cars in their battles, but sometimes they unwittingly become involved. Let's see what happens here. Oh, now that's really interesting. DeVos goes on the outside. I don't think little Al was expecting that, but he takes him on the outside of the Parabolica. Is he going to hold it coming through the corner? That's the question. And the back marker still involved there. Look at this, 3 wide going down the front straight. Incredible. And DeVos on the outside there looks like he's going to hold the position, but wait. There's little Al coming back on the outside, rather the inside of this track as they come towards Curva Grande, and he gets back in front. Wow, look at how close they're running. High stakes, close quarters battle here at Monza. DeVos looking for a way to position himself for another overtaking maneuver. Little Al in front for the moment. Lap 75. And unfortunately, one late retirement here. With just one lap to go, and that is John Team. His Cooper Climax expires. And he's not going to be able to coast back to the pits. Unfortunately, that's going to be a DNF for him after a very, very hard-fought race. Too bad. All right, now we're into the final lap of the race. And we haven't shown much of Wilkes because he's been leading ever since lap number 1, when he stormed to the front. Here he comes down the backstretch for the final time. He's going to go into the Parabolica, and obviously he's taking it very easy, doesn't want to make a late race mistake. Exiting the Parabolica, now he just has to put his foot down, and he's going to have a victory for himself in the Italian Grand Prix. And there it is! Richard Wilkes wins the Italian Grand Prix in dominating style. There is David Watman taking second place in this Lotus, which will keep him in the championship hunt. Now here comes Tim Hille. He's going to finish in third in his privateer Ferrari. Actually, David had quite a distance on him there at the end. He managed to get away from him. Now, here comes Juha Boss. He's going to finish in fourth place. That's fantastic, considering that he was sent all the way down to 22nd when he had that spin in Lesmo 1. Here he comes, finishing fourth. Excellent job. And there is Centorami finishing in fifth. And to finish the points, here comes David Saber to take sixth place. So that's your top six finishing the Italian Grand Prix. There is Brian Janik, who finishes a lap down in seventh place. Excellent race for him. Too bad he didn't score points. And now look at this. This is the battle for eighth place between Little Al and Robin DeVos. It's going to come right down to the wire. Little Al in front. Robin DeVos is going to take one more stab. Goes to the inside, and just at the line, Little Al beats him. There they touch. But Little Al just manages to finish ahead of Robin DeVos. And here is Mikael Drexler. And he's going to finish in 10th in his Honda. And there is 11th and out of the race, John Team. Yours truly in number 38, going to finish in 12th. And then in 13th, Rob DeVries, also with Reg Parnell. 14th for Bruno Chacon in his Honda. Gerard Rion in 15th for Scuderia Centro Sud. And then the last car running was Sam Smith for Reg Parnell in 16th. Here are the driver points after round 8. David Wattman is in front with 31 points. He actually has 35, but there's the dreaded drop score looming once again. Giovanni Centorami and Tim Hiller are tied for second with 30 points apiece. Juha Boss has 28 points in fourth, and then Richard Wilkes and John Team are tied for fifth with 18 points apiece. For the manufacturer standings, Ferrari is in the lead with 44 points. Lotus Climax in second with 31. They both have dropped scores as part of that. BRM is in third with 29 points. Brabham Climax in fourth with 21 points. Cooper Climax in fifth with 18. And then Lotus BRM in sixth with 8. Trivia question: who was the last Italian driver to win the Italian Grand Prix? Was it A, Lorenzo Bandini, B, Ludovico Scarfiotti, or was it C, Alberto Ascari? Time is up. 3 Italian legends there, but if you guessed Ludovico Scarfiotti, you are correct. That was in 1966. All right, so coming up at ISO, round number 9 of this series, the United States Grand Prix at the older Watkins Glen circuit before the Blue Armco days. It's going to be Sunday, April 26th. The race starts at 2000 CEST, highlights package to follow. All right, so thanks very much for watching this highlights package. Congratulations to Richard Wilkes on winning the Italian Grand Prix. This is Jason White saying everybody take care and be safe.